Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Om Nithya Paramashivo. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivo. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
The time is right. The world is ready. You are going to experience literally Paramashiva. Most powerful, intangible but definitive, intense processes. This is the most powerful spiritual nuclear explosion, that strong force of Kailasa landing on planet Earth directly. One thing I can be sure, you will not exist end of the program. I can guarantee that. Only Paramashiva will be there.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I welcome all of you, the whole world, to come and celebrate, enjoy not only the enlightenment ecosystem, the beauty of how it is getting revived. Be an insider for this great revival process. If you are an insider even for a startup company, you will understand not only the result of the company, even that being an insider is such a joy. Being an insider when it was happening is something extraordinary. So, I welcome all of you to come and be part of an insider of this revival of Kailasa, the enlightenment ecosystem, sovereign order of Kailasa, Kailasa nation itself. I request and welcome, invite all of you to become e-Kailasian. Get your free passport and make billions receive this free passport.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
What I mean by the word Kailasa? Listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Modern science says that all that exists, whether manifest or unmanifest, is a probability. Infinite probabilities create a quantum field of infinite potential. An observer collapses the probability wave into a particle. Your intention thus creates the reality. Called the observer effect, it is the very act of observation that precipitates any reality into existence. Hinduism is far advanced than this primitive understanding in the modern day. Hindus know this field of infinite potential as Paramashiva. Paramashiva permeates everything, manifest and unmanifest. He is intelligent, compassionate, and a myriad other auspicious qualities. Our scriptures provide detailed descriptions of how to invoke His presence on the earthly plane, the visualizations that manifest Him, the mantras, sounds that invoke Him, how He looks, His various dimensions, the actions that please Him and have His blessings rain on you, the times in the past when He has manifested for us and led us through a breakthrough. Hinduism knows the art of communing with Paramashiva to manifest any reality we want. And when our effort and all the knowledge isn't enough, He Himself incarnates in human body to show us how, to liberate us, to show us where we are stuck, to take us to oneness. Pratyaksha Padha Puja to His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda, Paramashiva incarnate. Sit at His sacred feet, let Him awaken you to your field of infinite possibilities, to your oneness with Him. Register now, Pratyaksha Padha Puja.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuous. I'll start from the basics and give you the best of the best of Vedas and Agamas. Listen. Purpose of life is enlightenment. Enlightenment means having the ultimate truth, the most powerful ultimate truths as your operating inner software.
Nithyananda Satya Nithyarupa Nithyananda Satya Nithyarupa Brahma Nithyananda Vishnu Shivarupa Brahma Nithyananda Vishnu Shivarupa.
The Aushadha bath really wakes you up, not only your mentally, but it feels like every pore of your body gets well woken up, because when you apply the Aushadha, it gets into your skin, it activates everything.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावाधीतं त्रिगुणरहितं Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyananda, welcome each and every one of you joining with us, watching Nithyananda TV, Kailasa's official TV channel. Today, we're going to be looking into big pharmaceutical industries and the food industry, and how they both together are looking towards only making profit out of you, looking towards you only as something which as a money making mechanism, and some of the things which are happening to you without even your knowledge. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, the enlightened civilization, the greatest and only Hindu nation. Adepts of the science of reincarnation in Hinduism recognize Swamiji as the avatara of Paramashiva at a very tender age. Revered and worshipped now as the living incarnation of superconsciousness by millions, Swamiji has manifested the best contributions of Hinduism to the world, including the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities. Kailasa is a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, which does not put importance on its territory alone. Kailasa is revived by the present living incarnation of Paramashiva, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Vivekananda visualized it. Yogananda yearned for it. Aurobindo accelerated it. Osho worked for it. And Maharishi Mahesh Yogi mandated it. Due to their sincere efforts and hard work for the last 200 years, with all their blessings, Swamiji has manifested Kailasa. Kailasa's supreme aim is to serve the religious and spiritual needs of 2 billion Hindus and the whole of humanity. Therefore, Kailasa is a consortium of multiple micronations, educational institutions, including Hindu universities and schools, de facto spiritual embassies, temples, temple-based monastery complexes, nunneries, food banks, Dhanamandirs, animal shelters, Goshala, libraries, Jnanalaya, organic farming, and more. People who are supposed to feed you and heal you are destroying your health without even you knowing about it. Kailasa is the only way towards breaking this vicious cycle. How is big food and big pharmaceutical industries killing you? So here are some points, the different ways how all of these put together finally results in the destruction of your health and your body being used as something which the pharmaceutical industry and food industry both are milking out basically to earn their profits, to earn their income. You're not allowed to know what is in your food. You cannot sue the industry that makes you fat and sick. Meat consumption is kept high due to powerful lobbying. Health-based NGOs are funded by big food directly. The diabolical cascading of drugs. You take a pill to cure a problem created by a pill. Fundamentally, modern society is undeniably dysfunctional as a whole. You are not allowed to know what is in your food. Did you know that there is a law in the US which prevents you from knowing what is being put in your food? It's called the Dark Act, which is denying Americans the right to know, signed in the year March 2015. The Dark Act is a blow to transparency around our food. It imposes a weak labeling requirement with no penalties for non-compliance, gives food companies the option to include QR codes or 1-800 numbers on packages, rather than clear labeling. And thanks to loopholes in the bill, we likely leave many GMO ingredients exempt from any labeling requirements. So, Dark Act basically is it removes the transparency between what is going in our food and what is being allowed to be known to the public about what is being put inside our food. You can't sue the industry that makes you fat and sick. You can't fight the system. The so-called Cheeseburger Law bans lawsuits related to industry culpability for people's obesity wounds. And why it may sound funny, it is actually a real law. The average American has gained 25 to 30 pounds since 1960, along with the growth of the meat and dairy and sugar industries. But this cannot be fought. The so-called Cheeseburger Law bans lawsuits related to industry culpability for obesity wounds. If a person knows or should know that eating copious orders of supersized McDonald's products is unhealthy and could result in weight gain, it is not the place of the law to protect them from their own excesses. So this is said by a judge in the United States of the Wisconsin chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. This bill fundamentally seeks to thwart class action obesity lawsuits against food manufacturers and restaurants. So neither are they going to share with us what they are putting inside the food, but at the same time, they are not going to be held responsible as well for consuming if you consume their products. Meat consumption is kept a record high due to powerful lobbying. World Health Organization and other major health groups have labeled both processed and red meats as carcinogenic. Yet powerful lobbying efforts have kept America at the top of the world in meat industry. Health-based NGOs are funded by Big Food directly. All the large health organizations encourage people to eat the very food linked to the diseases they're supposed to be fighting against. So you'll be surprised to know some of the people who are funding these health-based NGOs like Kraft Foods, Oscar Mayer, Tyson Chicken, Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell, Subway, Domino's, and the beef and dairy industries. All of them are the ones who are funding these health-based NGOs, and not a single one of them would accept to going towards an interview and allowing themselves to be interviewed regarding these matters. The diabolical cascading of drugs. If you become addicted to painkillers, there are pills to help you stop taking the pills by reducing the symptoms of withdrawal. And if you're taking too many of those pills, there's a pill for that as well. So basically, the American Chemical Society, the ACS, American Heart Association, AHA, and Americans with Disability Act, ADA, all accept millions of dollars from pharmaceutical industries that are making billions of dollars from the diseases the health organizations are supposedly trying to combat. This includes Pfizer, Merck, Lilly, Johnson& Johnson, Abbott, and others. Pharmaceutical firms have a vested interest in your sickness. A Time report explains the diabolical cascading of drugs, where, as we have shared previously, to stop an addiction to pills, you're given another pill. And to stop the addiction to that, you're given another pill. Fundamentally, modern society is undeniably dysfunctional as a whole. Media companies, pharmaceutical companies, food companies, and the government all rely on each other to survive. The media companies need pharmaceutical company ads to survive. Pharmaceutical companies need you to be sick to sell their product. Food companies want to keep you addicted to their products, so you'll keep using them. And the government pushes healthcare policies that keep you sick because the government needs healthcare for a strong economy. So how is Kailasa what is Kailasa stance on this food and health conspiracy? How is Kailasa working towards breaking this vicious cycle? We have a short satsang, Swamiji explaining about the food and pharmaceutical industry and how they control the food supply chain.
But unfortunately, we don't think even about 10 minutes a day about what we are eating. Society is cheating you. Through food, you are made sick. Once you are sick, you are slave to society because you have to yearn to get medicine to keep yourself alive. Then you are slave once for all to the social structure. Understand? Those days when I grew up, till teenage, we were all able to have healthy, natural, organic food. Only 20s, it becomes our freedom to eat any junk you want. Nowadays, they put so much medicine into that food, it will taste very great, but poison, that's all. Tasty poison. And I tell you, it's an international mafia. Understand, people who supply food for you are not interested in your health. They are interested in their wealth. Their priority is not your health. Their priority is their wealth. Do you know in many of the American states, Coke is cheaper than water? How many of you know that? Coke is cheaper than water, drinking water. Drinking water is costly than the Coke, especially if you get the large size. In this whole business, whose body is getting destroyed? You. Your body is your life. Your body is your ability to manifest consciousness. Beautifully, Tirumular says, Udal valarthen, uyir valarthene. It is your ability to grow the body, your ability to grow consciousness. Denial of body is not going to lead you anywhere other than the graveyard. Denial of body is not spirituality. A new kind of bodies are getting produced by the alcohol, drugs, and non-vegetarian toxic plastic food. High sexual activism, high libido, unimpotent. High sexual drive, but impotent. New dangerous bodies are getting created. They are very dangerous for society's stability. In those days, you will not see so many infertility clinics. Actually, too much of kids. Every house will have a dozen. You will not find infertility clinics. Now the whole problem is the other way. Now we are growing more and more with the knowledge and understanding how food is used to enslave you. Understand, the cities have become like a large open prison, that's all. Just few people decide what you should eat and what kind of medicines you will be forced to take, what you should think. Your gossips are decided just by 2-3 people. Just by 2-3 people. They decide what you should gossip. Cities are nothing but open prisons, that's all. Large open prisons, that's all. Where you think you have the keys in your hand. Food. Control of food chain supply is the method with which you are enslaved. Kids who grow up tasting blood and non-veg are the victims of the conspiracy to lose human conscious possibilities. Understand, if you keep your body vegetarian at least one day, something can happen, your third eye can be awakened and you can manifest powers. Once you destroy it with non-veg food, sealed, especially Now the modern day, that plastic food has become equivalently damaging to non-veg food. When I say plastic food, all food packed in plastic. I don't see any grandmother making murku and all those snacks in modern day. First of all, I don't see grandmothers. Where is murku and snacks? Liberating yourself from the conspiracy to enslave you through the food chain supply. That declaration is what I call declaring yourself as Shaivite. Telling, from today I declare my freedom. I am not going to be used by this food chain supplying conspiracy. I am not going to be victimized by the international food chain supply mafia. I'll free myself. First step. That declaration is what is declaring yourself. I am a Shaivite. I eat only Shaiva food. Shaiva food does not mean only vegetarian food. Organic vegetarian food. Plastic vegetarian food is not vegetarian. Plastic is non-veg.
Swami just beautifully explained the relationship, the conspiracy, mafia gang of the food and pharmaceutical industry, how it is an international thing which is happening around the globe, not just limited to any one country. How not only the food you intake, but even the gossip which you have, all of that is controlled, all of that is decided just by just a handful of people. How is Kailasa working towards keeping one's health and establishing the optimum ultimate health for a person? One of the two projects is the Be Food Free Nirahara Samyama, to go beyond food, offered by Kailasa's Department of Health. Also, the Nitya Kriyas, yogic processes to harness Kundalini energy for self-healing and awakening inner potential. The Nityananda Nirahara Samyama means to explore and discover your body's possibilities without having any external input like food or water. Your body is the miniature of the cosmos with all possible intelligence in it. If a fish can swim, you can swim. If a bird can fly, you can also fly. You only need to rediscover these possibilities from your biomemory. Reawaken those possibilities in your biomemory. More than 100 months and ongoing session, more than 15,000 participants from around the world, and more than 100 lifetime Niraharis who've decided to live without the bondage of food and water for the rest of their life. So with this, we've come to the end of our presentation. And along with myself, we have a few devotees as well joining us to be a part of this Vakya Siddhas. We have Mullaya and Renoshan Edmund joining us from Renoshan is joining us from Canada, and Mullaya is joining us from Chennai, India. Thank you both so much for coming today and being a part of the Vakya Siddhas. So let me go ahead and introduce myself very briefly, and then once our introductions are done, we'll enter directly into the next segment. My name is Srinitya Mangalananda Maharaj, and I'm a Valsand of the Nithyananda Gurukul. Prior to joining the Nithyananda Gurukul back in 2012, I was born and raised up in the United States. So this is a brief introduction about myself. Renoshan, you can go ahead and give a brief introduction about yourself as well. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Maharaj. Nithyananda, my name is Reawaken and I'm from Toronto, Canada. Born in also Canada, Montreal. And I've known Swamiji since around 2013. And really the point where the conscious decision was made to really basically spend the rest of the life with Swamiji was when Swamiji announced the Cambodia Inner Awakening, where Swamiji said, this is the last consciousness flight. As soon as that was said, then the intensity and continuity was awakened in me. And from there, it was just a constant flight, I can say. So this is a little bit about me, and thank you for inviting me out to the Varkatha Sadhas today. Nithyananda.
Yes, thank you so much, Reawaken, for coming today, being a part of the podcast of this. Mulya, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself next? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Maharaj. This is Murai from Chennai, India. I have also known Swamiji since 2013, and I also known Swamiji through an Inner Awakening program. That Inner Awakening was actually a life changer for me, I should say, because I came to meet Swamiji at a point of time when I felt that I knew best and I'm already the best in everything. I'm absolutely no nonsense. Nothing can ever beat me, beat my logic. I'm very rational and biasless in everything that I do, say, or believe. With that cognition, when I came to meet Swamiji, he made me realize through his program that my logic, everything, my consciousness, all that was very too shallow a context to decide to judge life itself. And it is a very profound lesson the way he taught me. He never sounded preachy. He made me experience everything. It was a wonderful thing. And since then, it has been a very memorable journey, because a lot of cognitions have changed, a lot of cognitions have deepened, a lot of cognitions have broadened. And so I started looking at life itself in a new way after the program. And today's session, if I'm able to present myself and able to talk something today, it is because of the new cognitions that I received from him. So thanks to Swamiji for this opportunity to come back and express what you have taught me. And thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, thank you so much, Mulya, for coming today, being a part of this podcast of this. So Ranosh, why don't you go ahead and share your initial take on today's topic, how the food and drug industry conspiring with each other, how society has gone to an extent where this is allowed to even happen, and how in Hinduism, for we lived for so many thousands of years, how was that problem avoided by us, and how has that become a problem now in modern society? Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So one click that happened as Swamiji was sharing in this clip that we were sharing earlier is that right now cities are basically open prisons. A few people are controlling what you eat, a few people are controlling what you do, your habits, even the gossip, what you think, everything. Only a few people are controlling. But everybody feels very free. Everybody feels that, oh, I have so much room to grow. I have so much room to expand. Look at my promotion. Look at my car. Look at my house. Look, what kind of food we get to eat, all these things. But the click that's happening here is this is all due to this illusion of choice. We feel that, oh, there's all these options in front of us. We must be free. But no, this is not, as Swamiji shares, choices is not freedom. Being able to handle yourself is the real freedom, the swatantratva. And this is really the space, as soon as this space of swatantra was diluted, the space of swatantra was, the very cognition of it was lost to society. As soon as this happened, then the illusion of choice was able to be given to the people, and then we have the basically the cities that we have today. If this one cognition of what does it mean to be actually free, what does it mean to really be able to see what choices you actually have available in front of you, and see what is going on behind the black box. Because ultimately right now, all the food we're seeing is actually a black box. Black box meaning, on the outside, we're seeing a certain thing under the category of food, but we don't know what's going inside the box. We don't know what's actually inside the food. One very common example I can give, which is available in almost every food nowadays, is an ingredient called natural flavors. See, this thing of natural flavors is a very generic ingredient. You see it everywhere. And just a little bit before the market to this, I was looking into seeing, okay, what is this thing of actually what is the natural flavors? And so if I can read the description for you. As per the US Food and Drug Administration, natural flavor or natural flavoring is the essential oil, oleoresin, essence, or extractive, protein hydrolysate, distillate, or any product of roasting, heating, or enzymolysis, which contains the flavoring constituents derived of a spice, fruit or fruit juice, vegetable or vegetable juice, edible yeast, herb, bark, bud, root, leaf, or similar plant material, meat, seafood, poultry, eggs, dairy products, or fermentation products thereof, whose significant function in food is flavoring rather than nutritional. So this is the definition as per the US Food and Drug Administration. And see, the thing is, all these things are included. All these things are a part of what the natural flavoring can be, but it's never specified in the actual product itself. It's never actually specified what is in your the food that you're eating. It's never specified whether there's actually meat ingredients in there. It's never specified exactly what's inside. There's one case that happened some time ago where a certain company had meat flavoring in their fries. But people didn't know about this. It wasn't a very common known thing. And so vegetarians would eat this, vegans would eat this, Hindus would eat this, until one day it was found out that, oh, there's actually beef flavoring in the fries. And so then they went on to successfully sue this large food industry about basically you're feeding us meat when it's very clear that I'm strictly veg. All this is just to say that right now, what we see as food, what we see as health, what we see as entertainment, all these things is actually a black box. We're being shown a certain thing that's under the category of food, under the category of medicine. But what's actually inside the medicine, what's actually inside the food, we don't realize that the food is leading to the poison. We don't see that the medicine itself is also doing the same. We see that it's as long as the black box is there, then we see, okay, this is a very nice option. But until we look and see what is actually the option that's given to us, who is giving this option to us, what is going on, as soon as this can start to happen, then this change starts to really flow. So I guess I can say, to wrap up what I want to share on my initial take is the root cause for why this is happening is the experience of Swatantra was lost. And now, when the seeking starts to happen, when the intensity starts to happen in the individual, one by one, then the yearning for the Swatantra starts to awaken. And this is where we start to see, okay, what am I actually eating? What am I actually doing? What am I actually watching? What is actually going on? And so from there, the auspiciousness starts. So this is my initial take on this. Thank you.
Okay, see, as an initial take, I'd like to add to what Roshan had shared regarding these flavors. I just, when he was talking about this, I recall an ad about, I think, Mazda, if I remember right. They were talking, that ad used to pride in saying, giving mango taste even in a non-mango season. Mango is supposed to be a summer fruit, and it says like it glorified the idea of giving one able to eat mangoes even in a non-mango season. Now, this might seem very scientific and very science has developed so much that we don't want to depend on season. But actually, if we think through, we'll see that we are actually going against nature by doing these things. How are you able to give a mango even in a non-mango season? So when nature has decided that it will give a fruit only during a particular time during the year, and you are able to have that same fruit even when that it's not the season of that. So where exactly have you preserved that? And if you go to a juice shop also, they'll add something called essence. I don't know how it is in abroad, but here in India we have, if you go to juice shop, they'll add something called essence, which actually enhances the feeling that you are taking that fruit juice very fresh, like you are taking fresh mango juice or apple juice or whatever it is. That is the feeling you get when you add. But all these are actually chemicals. So what exactly, what is that chemical that gives you the taste of mango juice or fruit or whatever juice, gives you that smell, but yet it is not that? How can that be? There is something really fishy is happening there. So we must actually think through and understand that this is not healthy. This is what Swamiji means to say that it is not just food products. We are made to consume food like products. This is what Swamiji means in this state. So we should be cognizant of all these things. And it is these chemicals that actually go and harm us in the long run, and we don't recognize it. Okay, let me stop here as an initial take. Let me elaborate some more points in a further instance. Thank you.
Yes, one thing I wanted to add on to what Murali was saying is this thing of the seasonal foods. One thing in Hinduism, I remember in one satsang, so I'm just sharing how even the foods that we eat during our temple celebration are, they're in the direction of bringing the body to fulfillment, bringing the body to the enlightened space. For example, during the Ganesh Chaturthi, the laddu you eat, the foods you all the foods that are celebrated in that specific time, they're perfectly compatible for the growth of your body in that specific season. See, the whole thing comes down to yama dharma. Yama is the flow of consciousness. Dharma is the rules for matter. The matter, the body does need maintenance. The body needs to be maintained, and the body itself goes through the cycles. In this case, we're talking about the seasonal cycles where we, instead of, basically the temple celebrations, along with what kind of celebrating you're doing, what kind of food you're eating, every detail is in tune with the seasonal flow, with the law of life, according to the body's dharma and according to the yama of consciousness, to the flow of consciousness. And so because we were aligned in that Hindu lifestyle where everything was in tune with one another, everything was integrated with one another, there was the experience of really fulfillment. The body was fulfilled, and the being itself was fulfilled through the different kinds of celebrations, through the continuous rhythm of things. And so as long as this was maintained, end to end, the enlightened civilization was prospering, fulfilled. But as soon as this was lost, as soon as the space of no more seasonal, I want this now, I have to have this now, this immediate gratification, as soon as this started to take over the delayed gratification, then that's when the, I can say the decline started to happen. So this is also one click that happened from what you shared.
See, how are they conspiring? I remember Swamiji is saying that diabetes is not a disease, it's a business. And from then on, it's what I dropped this idea of taking tablets for that. Okay, coming to elaborate there, I saw a video, YouTube video, wherein one doctor was explaining what exactly is this condition called diabetes. Like there's something called insulin inside you, and this insulin is responsible for the sugar content that is there in your blood. And when this intensity is in a particular range, then you are considered normal, and anything outside that is considered abnormal. You are supposed to have condition, and the medicine that you are taking is actually meant to dissolve the sugar that is there in your blood. And suddenly, this doctor through his YouTube video is saying, suddenly one fine day, the UNESCO, the World Health Organization, is telling you that the normal range for a person to be considered as diabetic should be within some range, and that range has actually shrunk. So he is asking us through that video, What do you mean by suddenly shrinking the range? The sugar range, the values need to be in a particular range. Till this minute, you are saying something. Suddenly, you are just shrinking the range and saying only this can be normal. So, who's deciding this? It is the people who manufacture these drugs. They decide what is normal and what is not, and that's what Swamiji is saying. These food and medicine industry or pharmaceutical industry are coming together and conspiring against humanity. So when it is this condition that is said as diabetic, when that clarity, when I got that clarity, I immediately decided that I will never take any drugs for diabetes. Of course, I'm still getting rebuffs from my family members for being like this, but still I'm saying this. Because when I understood that clarity, then I would know to know, and I realized that once I stopped taking that medicines, I stopped depending on them. Initially, when I did not take that medicine, I used to feel very uncomfortable, and it is only because I thought that only because of Swamiji's ambience, and because as I came here for the inauguration as a diabetic patient then, and it was through Swamiji's organic food. I thought that was keeping me, and this ambience was keeping me without any suffering. But then later I understood during the program itself that this is what is happening. So that clarity clicked with me, and I did not take. I stopped taking medicines once and for all, and I find that I am not suffering in any little way as I used to, and I am not. So what I'm saying is that range has shrunk. The range that World Health report, which the authorities, which they call themselves, who they call themselves to be, the values which they declare as normal has suddenly changed. Now, why is this? How is this? So they are deciding these values based on how much they have a target. They set a target for themselves about how much drugs they should sell, and so they are trying to judge what will be normal, and they are selling medicines accordingly and making so many people look as patients. So this is a huge conspiracy. And how we can alter that range, how we can alter that chemical in our body, that insulin thing all in body, is what Swamiji gives us through Nitya Kriya Yoga. All this, if we practice these kriyas, if we practice these yogasanas, then we can alter the insulin content in our body, the amount of insulin that our body can secrete, the amount of sugar that our blood is had, the sugar content in our blood, and all that. So this is the way we can alter our way of life, and we can be away from this conspiracy. And as Ranushan had said, the way we celebrate different festivals and the food that we offer for during different festivals to different deities are also in communion with what food we got to what was available through nature at that point of time. So how this was this is the answer to today's Sada's question. How was the problem not there in those days? Because we were in tune with nature all the time. What our food was available at that point of time in the year was what we used to eat and what we used to give our deities at that point of time. So we never were greedy to grab even non-seasonal fruits or other kind of food items. And so because we were, so this is also a type of violence when we actually when we try to get hold of a food item which is not available during that season, and we are enjoying that. That is also a type of violence. So we were not violent even in that count. So this is how I think we were avoiding all the diseases, and that is why food itself was medicine, and medicine itself was our food. We did not take any specific intake anything specially in the name of medicine for us, because we are already in tune with nature. We ate only when we were hungry. We slept when we were sleepy, and we did not live a templated, deadline-based rush kind of lifestyle in those days. That is how we were able to actually maintain a disease-free, disorder-free body, and we maintain a healthy mind. So our very way of life was yoga. I think that is what had a deep impact and bearing on the fact that people had great longevity in those days, and we find it missing in today's way of hectic life. Always rushing, chasing deadlines, always racing against time. So if we actually be in tune with the time and go with the, we'll be more in flow with the way of life. And we alter our way of life to vegetarian and organic food, I think we'll be far more healthy. So to say, we need not even separately do anything called yoga. This itself will have a great impact on our well-being, general well-being. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Aya. So just to add a point here to what you shared, Aya, we actually over the past couple of days we had the opportunity to have a Siddha doctor visit us here in Adi Kailasa in Biddi. So the doctor he was sharing actually a very interesting point he was actually sharing. So we were he was showing us the mango tree, and he was going over the benefits and the different things which you can use the mango leaf for, and the different things you can use, even the mango, the milk which comes from the mango tree. So he was speaking about those different properties, and at the time he also said that mangoes come only in the summer season. And so this is how, for example, if someone in back in those old days, if someone wanted to go and sit in meditation, and they would sit in meditation, they would sit in these tapas for so many years and months together. So when they come out, they have no sense of what time of the year it is, which day, no sense of date and time and all that. But just by seeing the mango tree, they'll know that whether it's summer or winter. And like this, by identifying certain fruits, certain plants, which plant is blooming, which plant is not blooming, then they'll be able to make out which, they'll be able to even make out which month it is. To that sense of preciseness, our masters have been in tune with nature, have been in tune with the surrounding, with bhumata basically. And to that extent that to that extent which it has been documented, if mango tree is in this state with these many leaves, and these many leaves yellow, these many leaves green, then you know that it's the month of June or July, or whatever it could be. But to that extent, to that level of depth and research, it has been done by our ancient rishis, by our ancient siddhas. And there wasn't any concept of calendar. It was only the sun, the constellations in the sky, and the trees, the living nature around it. So based on this, it's not just the food and the health system, even the sense of time and date, everything was calculated based on mother nature, on the environment, the stars, and so on. So in any aspect you take, however technologically advanced it may be, it was always based off, and the fundamentals, everything was from in communion, in oneness, in with the surrounding nature around us. Even the concept of walking barefoot and growing the plants in within your surrounding area where you live, all of these are not just for moral reasons, or not just for economical reasons, not just to be a self-sustaining entity by yourself, but there are spiritual and power manifested reasons behind this as well. When boom, the whole concept is so beautiful. Boom Mata scanning your body and seeing where you have deficiencies, where you have minerals and vitamins less, and she pushing those minerals, those vitamins back into the plants which you are growing in that area, so that you can consume those plants, you can take those plants and consume it. It's such a beautiful concept, and it just shows how mature, how in depth Hinduism was. It was very rarely we needed someone else, and these extreme procedures, something which is happening to every 1/5 or 1/10th person here in modern society. It was only maybe every 100th or every 1,000th person back then, because majority of the life, everything, all these normal checkups, everything, something which is taken care by daily checkups and these kind of things, all that was taken directly by mother, by Bhumata. And Hindus, we had such a trust on Bhumata. That was the biggest thing. Whether the science is real or not is secondary, but Hindus had that trust. Hindus had that faith that this is real. Bhumata is real. It is not just geography. It is biology. She is living. And only when you have such a cognition, when you have such a deep cognition that it is alive, it is not dead, it is not dead matter, but it is alive in a living entity, only then you will even think of such concepts, you will even start cognizing in this direction. So fundamentally, the very basis of Hinduism, the very basis of our culture back so many thousands of years ago, was very, very different from how it is right now. The context of living in the space of Paramashiva, the context of living in Advaita, in oneness, was the root context for every single activity, everything which happened back then. It happened from that space, and Swamiji is bringing back that space through various programs and mainly through this power manifestation science. It is only in the power manifestation science you will experientially understand that Bhumata is real. You'll have a physical experience about it. You will understand that you can see without the help of your two eyes, that even sitting here, you can make it rain in some other parts of the world. So all this practicing this power manifestation science and imbibing this truth, being in the space of Advaita, the whole power manifestation science itself is built on the space of Advaita, on oneness. So one of the actually didn't think that I would actually be coming to this point, but one of the reasons to break this food and drug cycle is simply by just doing power manifestation. By doing power manifestation, the space of Advaita, the space of oneness starts getting re-strengthened and reiterated inside of you. And when that space of Advaita happens inside of you, naturally all these loopholes, all this politics, drugs, greed, everything just simply melts down. You can either start chipping at the hill from the top with a quick hammer, or you can just have an earthquake and shake the very foundation and let it get destroyed. So there's two ways you can go about it. Which way are you going to go about it is the question. And not only we going about that way, but making everyone else understand, giving everyone else the same powerful cognition. Once we have experienced it, then naturally convincing another person about it will become very easy. Once you have traveled down that same path, once you have gone to to Hawaii or to Disneyland or someplace, then helping another person also travel the same path will automatically become so simple. One of the ways Swamiji is giving the space of Advaita, the space of oneness, through not just through the form of Paramashiva, but through various bhavadashans, various forms, various ways, using each and every possible mechanism, each and every possible tool, utility, which is available in Hinduism, which is available even in modern society, is the Paramashivam program. Giving the best, letting you sit at your home and giving the best Advaita experience to you is fundamentally the Paramashivam program. For more information about the Paramashivam program, you can visit paramashivoham.nithyananda.org. Now, we have a small video regarding the Paramashivam program. About the program, please stay tuned.
The time is right. The world is ready. You are going to experience literally Paramashiva. Most powerful, intangible but definitive, intense processes. This is the most powerful spiritual nuclear explosion, the strong force of Kailasa landing on planet Earth directly. One thing I can be sure, you will not exist end of the program. I can guarantee that. Only Paramashiva will be there.
Yes. Yes, we're back. So we've almost come to the end of today's segment. Ranoshan and Mulaya, if you have something you want to share, final takeaways from today's segment, from today's program, please go ahead, Aya.
Yes, Nithyananda. One strong click from what you shared, Maharaj, is really Sanatana Hindu Dharma. The whole enlightened ecosystem is grounded on seeing reality, seeing life, seeing existence as it is. And as it is, you are Paramashiva. The whole, the ecosystem of Sanatana Hindu Dharma is where my world is aligned to the world. And the science of power manifestation is such a, I can say, it's a rude awakening for you, actually. It's a really rude awakening where you can really see, oh my God, I really am Paramashiva. I'm able to manifest the powers. I'm able to see something that's happening on the other side of the world. I'm able to teleport this vibhuti. I'm able to roll a coconut. All these things you really start to see it's like Swamiji was sharing, is really like straight away methods to break your SDHD is start manifesting powers. Same way with when it comes to the diet and the food, and really seeing what is going on, really manifesting life as it is, immediately start manifesting powers. So this is just a really strong click that happened in me, is just this thing, the space of aligning my world to the world through the power manifestation, being grounded and stable in this space. Thank you.
Maharaj, actually, the experience that you shared through the Siddha doctor, who was talking about the rishis of those days, capable of understanding what season it was by understanding even how many green leaves there were on the mango tree. It's really fascinating. It only shows to what extent people in those days were in tune with nature, how much they lived with nature, how much they had recognized life, uh, uh, how to what extent they were non-violent, how to what extent they were non-greedy, they were actually being with nature. So the more we imbibe such values, the more we exude such values, I think we will actually bring back the glory of those days. And I think Swamiji is doing that job by reviving this Kailasa. So let us all support that mission, and in whatever little way we can, and flourish it and enjoy it, and let others also enjoy it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Aya. Thank you both Ranoshan and Mulia for coming today, being a part of today's program, today's segment. With this, it's time to conclude. Prepare ourselves to receive Swamiji, welcome him to the Nithya Satsang. Thank you both so much for coming today and being a part of this segment. So for all our viewers, everyone else watching us on Nithyananda TV, it's time. Please sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and bring your awareness into your Ananda Gandha. Visualize Swamiji sitting there in your Ananda Gandha as Paramashiva with 25 heads and 50 hands. Now, start chanting the Mahavakya mantra, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and allow the mantra to reverberate throughout your entire body. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Very slowly. Please open your eyes.
शृङ्गनिकेतनं सिञ्जनीकृतपन्नगेश्वरम्
I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus, de facto Kailasians from all over the world. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Paramashiva Ganas, Mantreshwara, Vidyeshwara, Ganeshwara, Lokeshwara, Astreshwaras. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Listen. Pure life positivity, absolute life positive energy is superconsciousness of Paramashiva. The food you eat, the way it is produced, the way it is processed or cooked, the way it is consumed, the way you detox yourself, clean your body after the digestion, the whole thing, end to end, should be absolutely life positive. Same way, the words you generate, see, the pure vibration is the nada in you. How you convert that nada into sabda, sabda into language, how you use those words on yourself and how you use that words on others and how others use words on you and how you consume, get impacted, decide to get impacted by the words others use on you. The whole thing should be with absolute life positivity. Listen, I'll explain step by step. Whether the words you create and use within yourself, use on others, and the words others use on you, and the way you decide to cognize, cherish, get impacted by others' words, everything should be life positive, pure positivity. The way your food, the way your words, the way your consciousness functions, the way you cognize things happening, the way you build yourself, the way you build your life's experiences, everything should be absolutely life positive. Absolutely pure positive. I tell you, I'm going to explain in multiple levels how the attitude and aptitude should be aligned to life positive. And one more thing, till you align the whole thing to pure positive, you are going to come back again and again and again. So better let us do it as early as possible. Let's not postpone. Let us not postpone, because till you do it, you are going to come back. In every level, experience absolute life positivity. Intense life positivity is enlightenment. Withdrawal, cherishing life negativity is not going to end till you become life positive. You are going to continue to suffer wherever you are. So better to choose the life positivity now. Better to choose the pure positivity now. From now, let us start building. Many people have many questions about the message of Code of Conduct. Kailasa Code of Conduct I released on Coronation Day, February 14th. Many have many questions. I wanted to clarify everything. See, look at that message as complete life positive angle. From pure positivity, understand that message. Especially from Balaji Srinivasan, I got the question. There are great people and part of the executive leadership of my holding company, his holding company, that manages his business, whom he has known for last 20 years. Over the time, he has enriched them to follow my teachings and become part of the Sangha. He is asking, Bhagavan, please clarify whether I should sever ties with them and remove them as officers or executives. Please understand. Balaji Srinivasan, I wanted to make it very clear to everyone. Through this question, I am making it clear to all of you. See, you have your own business, your friends. You come and start following my teachings, become part of the Sangha. You enrich others, your friends, family. They also become part of the Sangha and start following my teachings, start becoming part of the Sangha. Then how can Sangha or me interfere in your relationship with them? No. Let me make it very clear. Please understand. I'll give you an example. A and B know each other. A comes to Sangha, becomes follower. He enriches the B and brings the B to Sangha. Both become follower. How can I interfere or Sangha can interfere in your business relationship or any other relationship which was already existent? I have nothing to do with that. Neither Sangha can interfere, nor it can ask you to sever the ties. I can only say, both of you be more auspicious, generate more wealth, live more happily, do more blissful enriching activities and do more work of the Kailasa, be part of the Kailasa more and more. I cannot interfere in your business relationship. Let me make it very clear. See, let me give you the examples. For example, if your relationship is built within the Sangha, from Sangha your relationship has started. If your trust on each other is due to Sangha, that is where I request not to get into business relationship. Why, when, let me give you the reason also. When these people, I'm not talking about Balaji or anyone, I'm talking generally, some A and B, they become friends, they know each other from Sangha. And they get into some relationship. It can be either business relationship or sexual relationship, any relationship. When they have their incompletion, when things don't go well between them, they try to blame Sangha. I do not want that. When they have their incompletion, see, when everything goes well between them, everything is okay. If something goes wrong, they don't try to look for spiritual solution which I am giving. They just tend to blame the Sangha, blame me, everything. It unnecessarily brings a lot of bitter incompletions which is not needed. Sangha is for enlightenment, an enlightenment based lifestyle. Sangha is very clear. Kailasa, Nithyananda Sangha is for enlightenment. We stand for enlightenment, an enlightenment based lifestyle. So for example, A and B already know each other. A comes and becomes part of the Sangha. He enriches the B, and B also becomes part of the Sangha, or both becomes part of the Sangha. Then me or Sangha has no right to interfere in your existing relationship. Whether it was business relationship, or sexual relationship, or marriage relationship, whatever it was, me or Sangha has no right to interfere. And I won't interfere. I will never interfere unnecessarily into anything, anyone's life. That's first. Second, A and B, the next example, listen. A and B, they start building their friendship, trust on each other within the Sangha, from Sangha. Then, if you get into any relationship, and if it doesn't go well, whether it is a business relationship or sexual relationship or any other relationship, it doesn't go well, you tend to blame the Sangha and make people incomplete within the Sangha. You tend to accuse the Sangha and Swamiji or anyone. I do not want that. That is the reason up front I am warning. Sangha is only for enlightenment. And the third scenario, let me explain the third scenario. A and B both start building their relationship from Sangha only. They met each other in the Sangha only. They became friends in the Sangha only. But apart from Sangha, you meet privately also in your home. You have other reasons also to meet. You meet in your home, wherever you are, the outside, coffee, wherever. You have separate relationship other than the trust or the friendship which started within the Sangha. If you have separate relationship other than the Sangha's trust and all that, then again I will not interfere. For example, A and B comes to Sangha. A and B met each other only within the Sangha. They become friends, Guru Bhais, Guru Bahans, whatever within the Sangha. But they have a separate relationship away from Sangha. Then what you do outside Sangha campus, what you do within your relationship, I will not interfere Sangha. But I do not want any business relationship, sexual solicitations, anything within the Sangha campus, Sangha properties, or Sangha-centric trust relationships. If you know each other, Sangha centered, within the Sangha, and your relationship is only limited to Sangha, then I strongly recommend, highly recommend, do not engage in any business or sexual, any other relationship other than enlightenment, direct enlightenment based spiritual connection, that also only with Sangha and Guru. I think I am making it very clear in all the different scenarios. A and B met within the Sangha, but apart from Sangha, they have developed their own relationship outside the Sangha properties, outside the Sangha. And you have your business ventures or your personal relationships outside the trust of the Sangha, outside the boundary of the Sangha, then I will neither interfere nor Sangha or me is anyway responsible for it. All of you should be very clear. This whole announcement is to make it very clear. Let the trust built between each other within the Sangha as Guru Bhais not exploited for any business relationship or sexual relationship or any other relationship other than enlightenment. And the spiritual enlightenment supporting each other. That's all. That is the only reason I made it very clear. Even the Vakyartha Sadas, Jivartha Sadas, everything be done with the official Kailasa platforms. Transparent, open, where everything is clear, openly discussed. And same way, anyone who wants to conduct classes, programs based on my teachings, you should follow the system we evolved. Get trained properly and get the approval from the registrar properly and start following the clear rules and regulations. Conduct sessions only within our authorized Kailasa platforms, Zoom rooms. Nothing outside the Kailasa platforms and Zoom rooms. Even the morning yoga and e-Kailasas, let us organize and embed it with the main Kailasa website. Those approved platforms only will function. Even morning yoga sessions, morning puja and e-Kailasa activities. Let us make it very clear. I am spelling it out very clearly. Only then we can manage the purity of the teachings and authenticity of the teachings. And no one can monetize, use for any other personal gains any of my teachings. I am making it very clear. No one can conduct any webinars, classes, programs on their own using my teachings, using my methodologies or processes, make money or influence or build brand on their own. I am making it very clear. And anyone who wants to conduct their own classes, their own programs, do not use my spiritual name. Don't be part of my spiritual ecosystem. Don't directly or indirectly try to show you are representing me or my teachings or Kailasa. Even indirectly you should not be showing. You represent my teachings or Kailasa. Even indirectly you should not be showing you are a devotee or disciple or follower of Swamiji. There are multiple things. I am making it very clear. Anyone who wants to teach my teachings and do services, seva, it has to be absolutely organized. It has to be absolutely only from Kailasa platforms. outside Kailasa platforms, no one should use my teachings for any economical benefit or brand building, your brand building or anything, any purpose. Do not use my teachings outside my Kailasa platforms, my ecosystems. I am making it very clear. I want to retain the purity of Kailasa's teachings. I don't want anyone to monetize. I don't want anyone to build their brand using any of my teachings. If you are going to do some spiritual classes, courses on your own, don't use the spiritual name I gave. Don't show directly or indirectly. Anyway, you are part of the ecosystem of Kailasa, and don't be part of the ecosystem of Kailasa. I am making it very clear. I think it is clear for devotees also. Devotees, disciples, for everyone. I am making all this very clearly as a code of conduct. So, for example, if a person is conducting some courses, classes after getting associated with me, connected to me, using my teachings directly or indirectly, Kailasa's teachings or anything, first of all, it is highly discouraged not to use in any of your programs, your classes. All my programs, classes will be organized, conducted only through the Kailasa Zoom rooms, officially, only from within our campuses. I am making it very clear. And anyone who wants to conduct on your own, don't show directly or indirectly you are a devotee. So now you can choose. If you want to continue to be a devotee, you can be part, but don't do any classes, programs, anything outside. You will take classes only within the Kailasa ecosystem with a clear definition and clear training, clear methodology. Follow the procedure, system. You are welcome. If you are interested only in enriching. But if you are interested something more than enriching, your personal benefits, like money or your own brand building, anything, we are not interested in that. And we discourage it. And don't use my teachings, my words, my cognitions, my techniques, whatever I am sharing with you, with the world. I am making it very clear. And if you want to do something on your own, don't be part of my ecosystem. I think I made it very clear. If any of you have any more doubts or questions, you can send it. We will answer. I will respond in further satsangs. I am making it more and more organized. Let us get more and more organized, more and more integrated, more and more aligned. That's it. I think I clarified everyone's questions, doubts, and all the possible scenarios I have clarified. That's it. Yes, I think I have clearly spelled it out. There are some more questions I am getting. Can anyone take classes inside Sangha, supporting Kailasa, and outside some programs on their own with their brand building? No. Let us make it very clear. If somebody wants to serve Sangha, enrich Kailasa, be part of the Kailasa, you will not be doing any other spiritual religious program outside the Kailasa. If you want to do something outside, and please don't do inside. Let's make it very clear. Let us make the line border clearly so that people are not confused. People who are conducting some of their own programs, neither directly nor indirectly, should suggest to people that they are my disciples, my followers, either using spiritual name or using my mala, nothing. Do not represent me if you are doing something on your own, directly or indirectly. Don't use the spiritual name I gave. Don't be part of the Kailasa ecosystem. Don't drag our devotees, my followers, my disciples to any of your programs, classes, courses. I am making it clear. Yes. So all I am trying to do is keep the pure life positivity as it is. I want to keep the purity and life positivity of Kailasa and Sangha and teachings. See, the atmosphere, ecosystem of the Sangha and the teachings, everything pure. Because many times people try to use the Sangha ecosystem or the teachings for other than enlightenment, either to make money or make sexual favors or any other relationships or to build the name and fame or build their brand. No. Sangha is purely dedicated for enlightenment. Teachings are purely dedicated only for enlightenment and only for spiritual purpose, making it very clear and aligning the Sangha back to its original focus, always, as usual. That's all. And if you have more questions, you can send. We will answer all those questions and give more clarifications on the message, code of conduct we released about Kailasa. So I think things are clear. All the Vakyartha Sadas, Jivartha Sadas will continue to happen in Kailasa's official platforms. And all Kailasa ecosystem, that everyday morning yoga, Brahma Muhurta session, all that will continue to happen with officially recognized Kailasa Zoom rooms. We can release a list of Kailasa Zoom rooms officially recognized. So in that, through that Zoom rooms, the classes, sessions will continue to happen. We will release the official Kailasa Zoom room lists and names. Through that, we will continue to have programs, more and more programs. Classes, sessions, that's all. So for now, I'll continue in further satsangs, more details, clarifications, everything. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
श्रीकैलासोन्नतद्वादशान्तश्यामलापीठारूढ श्रीमीनाक्षिसुन्दरेश्वरा भिन्नस्वरूप परशिवपुत्ररत्न कुमार गुरुमण्यतुल्यावतार श्रीपार्वतीस्तन्यपानलब्धदिव्यज्ञान विश्रुतसकलनिगमागमसारभूतद्राविडवेदप्रवक्त्रे श्रीमत्परमशिवकरुणासमधिगतमुक्तामयचतुरश्रयान् गीयमानछत्रचामर श्रीचिह्नकाहलादिसमस्तबिरदावल्यलङ्कृत ज्ञानविज्ञानचक्रवर्ती सर्वजनसङ्घसद्यो निर्वाणदीक्षाव्ययापवर्गवर्ष विश्राण जीमूत परमतकलभकेसरी शैवसिद्धान्तस्थापनाचार्य श्रीराजाधिराजपाण्ड्यमहाराज गुरु क्षपणशाक्यादिमहान्धकारनिवारणज्ञानभानु वीक्षणानर्हार्हध्वजोच्छेदनपूर्वक श्रीमद्वृषभध्वजस्थापक शैवसमयकर्त्रे सर्वज्ञपीठारूढ श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धदेशिकस्वामि वागीशसुन्दरमाणिक्यवाचकस्वामिनाम् अवतारभूत श्रीज्ञानसम्बन्धस्वामि पुनरुद्धृत श्यामलापीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रिनवत्युत्तरद्विशततमगुरुमहासन्निधान अरुणगिरियोगीश्वर परम्परागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञपीठ गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत काञ्ची कैलास सर्वज्ञपीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततम गुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्यमङ्गल नित्यकल्याण नित्यरजित कैलास परम्परागत आदिकैलास नित्यानन्दपीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासनपीठकर्तः साक्षात् श्रीपरमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परम्परागत वैवस्वतमनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चन्द्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचन्द्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ति परम्परागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मण्डित चतुष्षष्टि सम्प्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्मशासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञपीठ सुराङ्गी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूडामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणिपीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामण्डलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरुपरम्परा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्ममुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्णपीठ त्रयोविंश गुरुमहासन्निधान कैलास परम्परागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञपीठ जगद्गुरो श्रीकैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्रीकैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानन्द प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमज्जगद्गुरु श्रील श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिन् अत्रागत्य परिपाल्य च अस्मान् विज्ञान वितरणेन विजयी भव जय जय।
He was telling, ஒட்டுண்ணியும் உயிருண்ணியும் சுத்தமாக்கினா சுத்த அத்வைத சத்தியம் சாத்தியமாகும். நான் எப்படி சாமி பண்றதுன்னு கேட்டேன். நான் கேட்டேன். அதுக்கு அவர் சொன்னார், அழகா சொன்னார், மூவாததை உட்கொள், சாவாததை உயிருட்கொள். இதான்